Okay, let's take a quick look at creativity today and what that means and how, when you look at it a different way, it could actually help you harness your creativity and be more creative on a regular basis because it just might make a little mental shift for you. So, creativity, I am someone who has often had creative work in my life, design, photography, and people will say to me, "You're so lucky, you're so creative." And then they'll say, "I don't have a creative bone in my body," something like that, which is always like, every time I hear somebody say that, it's like, really? You don't have a creative bone in your body? Which, I get their point. Maybe they don't consider themselves artistic. Maybe they didn't color in the lines, whatever those rules were that probably, this was probably a belief that came from childhood or somebody not giving them the same encouragement someone else got, or someone actually uh, criticizing them in a way that made them feel like they actually weren't a creative person. But in fact, every single one of us is a creative person. Like, whether we're making our lunch or choosing what clothes we're going to wear, there's a lot of the same creative process that happens every day in tons and tons of different ways. Even those who are way more, in their left brain, I think they get really creative, with their number work, as they do accounting or doctoring, that kind of thing. I think there's so much room for creativity in places where you don't typically give it that creative title assignment. Um, and I think, too, the creative process has two parts, and often we associate creativity with the doing part, with the action part, with the I am creating this drawing, I am creating this painting, I am making this beautiful thing, I am doing this thing, when in fact there's a really important part that comes before the doing, and that's the listening. And by listening, I mean to that little voice, to that little part inside you, whether it's coming from inside your, in your heart, whether it's coming from God as inspiration, however it kind of hits you, whenever you get those little thoughts, those little ideas that say, oh, I should try. Or if you see something that someone else is doing and it just like, you feel that like feeling in your chest and your heart, and just like, it almost, changes your breath. Maybe it does change your breath. Like you can feel your heart race sometimes. It's so beautiful. And that thing they're doing is so amazing and so neat. And part of you really connects with either what they've done, what they're doing, the process. And so that's a message coming in for you too. And, so listening is part of that process. Saying yes, I think, is the next part of that before you even do anything. So it's saying yes to that voice, letting it all come in, saying yes to it, and then getting curious about it and experimental. Like, what does that mean? What does this voice mean? I just got these words that came in. They sound like a song. Is that a poem? Is that a song? Should I just let me just grab my phone and let me record it. Let me see what that sounds like. So it's just letting yourself play instead of letting that voice come in and say, oh, those words came in. But you're not a songwriter. You're not a poet. Just, that's not anything you need to do anything with. So it's that combination of learning to listen to those little things that come at you, and they come in different ways for different people. So I think this is an important part too. I think we all kind of find these places of flow where our mind shuts down, like our busy thinking thought shuts down, and things become more peaceful in our bodies and our minds. And this is where a lot of those inspiring thoughts come. For me, a lot of that comes when I'm walking or running. For other people, it's in the shower or like when they're swimming, water. Other people, it's when they're reading, dancing. I think it comes in all different ways for all different people. So you probably have found, you might not know exactly where your pattern is, but I'm sure you've experienced it in the past, as you're doing certain type of activity, that's when everything stills, time goes away, and these beautiful thoughts get a chance to come in and visit you. And that's when you get the chance to say, yeah, let's see what that is, and be curious and experiment. So that's like this whole first piece that comes even before the doing. So, and thinking about your work. So, do you take that time every day to find your still space, find your flow space? Again, is it some kind of movement? For a lot of people, it is. Is it standing in the shower till thoughts come, getting in the bathtub? Get that kind of thing going. Have paper handy, have a voice recorder handy, whatever you need to record the inspiration as it comes, and then your initial curious bits. Okay, so then what? So that's exactly, for me, that's why I'm doing these videos right now, because it was very much a strong pull that I kept getting, but that thinking took over for me too much. And I said, but I'm not someone who's comfortable on video. I'd rather be sitting and talking, with the person next to me than talking into a camera. So my thinking took over, but luckily, the inspiration kept coming back. And, and then considering it and allowing myself to be curious about why is that coming? Why does that inspiration keep coming for me? And I think it's, then I can speak to more than one person at a time. There may be more than one person I'm meant to help. There may be someone, on the other side of the planet, maybe you are that person on the other side of the planet, or even in the next town that I might not meet otherwise. So this, video is awesome. What a great way to connect with more people. And so that's, where my inspiration, my saying yes, this is an experiment for me, and I'm super curious to see where it takes me. So think about that for you and your business. Where can you start letting those inspired thoughts come? I'd love to hear if you have any thoughts, and if you kind of where you are with them. Do you find yourself just too stuck in that overthinking? Do you need a little help, a little push going forward? Share that and let me know. You can comment in the video below. You can shoot me a note, and I'll really look forward to hearing from you and connecting in another video again soon. Have an amazing day.